So there's this quote from Hemingway, and I'll paraphrase. Everyone has two deaths, when they die and the last time someone says their name. There are other days besides Memorial Day to remember the fallen. I am in Las Cruces, New Mexico. Came out here to do the Bataan Memorial Death March. It's called more than a marathon. It's held on the White Sands Missile Range. I think a lot of World War II history looks towards Europe. And yet there was a whole other side of the war that I didn't know, that there were so many soldiers that were forced into this death march. 10,000 soldiers, 9,000 Filipino and 1,000 American didn't survive, and the ones that did survive, suffered greatly in prisoner of war camps. And this event is commemorating their suffering, and it's also a coming together of the Americans and the Filipinos. And I think that was really beautiful. At the opening ceremony, they sing the Filipino and U.S. national anthems. And for 35 years now, this marathon has been going on. It's one of the birthplaces of civilian rucking. I mean, people have been rucking since the beginning of time, but for civilians to be invited into something that's been essential to the military for so long, it's good to see that this is growing over the years since this memorial marathon first started. I came out here to do the marathon, but also to meet up with some friends and partners of Go Ruck, and decided to sponsor them with rucks and our Go Ruck gear. The roots of Go Ruck have always been in service. Service to those who don't think about themselves. They're thinking about others. They are looking to give back and serve, and that's something that once you get a taste of it, it's hard to stop doing it.
So my name's Amy Cotta, and I'm the founder and executive director of Memories of Honor. We are a national nonprofit that works with families of fallen service members. Our mission is to make sure that our fallen service members and their families are honored, remembered, and recognized more than one day a year. One of our programs is called Enduring Heroes, and what we do with that is we bring together veterans and surviving family members in athletic type events where they can build community together. And one of those events that we do annually is the Bataan Memorial Death March in White Sands, New Mexico. This year's march was amazing. It was actually the biggest group we've had since we started doing it, of surviving families. We had some active duty. For the event itself, we provided all 7,000 marchers with a bib with the name and face of a fallen service member from our national database. So everybody that chose to wear that bib was able to carry somebody's loved one with them on course and honor their memory. We have active duty military that have never heard of a Gold Star family, and they don't realize that when they're meeting a Gold Star, they're meeting the family of a fallen service member. And I think as a nation, we need to get better at educating, because everything that we love, that's part of our lives, has all been paid for by the men and women that have served this country.
Staying at the Memories of Honor team house, I got to meet a lot of people that I wouldn't have come across without coming to this marathon. That included a current Marine who is based out here, who had lost her spouse to suicide. And for a long time, she didn't feel like she belonged to any community. And through Memories of Honor and through this Rucking this marathon, she shared that she finally felt like she belonged. And I think that's what it's all about.
So Fox Force 55, group of badass women. We all met at a retreat that was geared towards first responders, veterans, law enforcement professionals. And working in those different areas, you go through things and you're kind of put through the ringer, and it makes you relatable to others in that arena, right? And so when you find a group of women that is relatable and is supportive of one another, you know, that's what it should be. Unfortunately, you don't always find that. And so we've just stayed in touch and poured into each other. And, you know, and there's encouragement, but also the, you know, okay, get your shit together and go out and do this, right? And just very authentic. And we're here doing this together, and just, it's a way for us to, you know, reconnect. First time since the retreat that we're all getting back together, so it's great.
My name's Tony Lavery. I'm getting ready to retire from the Army after 24 years.
What was your what is your MOS?
My MOS is psychological operations, so 37 Fox.
Does that have anything to do with your selection of the Fox Force 55?
No, so my husband loves the movie Pulp Fiction, and in the movie, Uma Thurman, there's a point where she's talking to John Travolta about a series on TV that she was mildly an actress in, and the name of the group in the movie or the series is called Fox Force 5, and it's supposed to be this like badass, almost like spy-ish group of ladies who have all these unique skills and traits, and each one of them brings something very different to the table, but together it's like this strong team that accomplishes the impossible. So when we had this group of women that formed, the first thing that came to mind for him was Fox Force 5. So I did a little bit of research on numerology and like the meaning of numbers, and the number 55 came across as something that I think is very representative of this group, which is, it's a number that says, you know, you can overcome challenges, resilience, power, strength, all the things that I think of when I think of all the women here who have and continue to go through some pretty intense things that I don't think I would ever have the strength to go through. But they're all going through it. They're going through it while they're training for this insane ruck march. And I'm like, damn, I can probably learn a thing or two from her. I've heard it now from every girl on the team, but I always think I'm the only one with this or that, you know, one-off thought or feeling or experience. But like, it's taken over 40 years for me to realize that the right support network of people exists for me. It's so cliche, but it's like, find your tribe and just like leverage them for everything they'll give you.
I am going to ruck the baton. So I want to complete it for myself. It's a challenge. I have trained. I want to do it. I've trained. I want to be able to say, yes, you did it. Your body can do hard things. You can do hard things. And then this is gonna make me cry. Sorry. Both of my children have terminal rare brain disorders, and it's been really cool to show them, you know, mama can do hard things too, and just, you know, your body can do things. You put your mind to it, you can do the things. And so they've watched me train. They still don't fully understand what it is that I'm doing and, you know, what it really means, but it's been really cool that their little eyes have been watching, and I've set a goal and I've worked really hard to meet the goal. And I just want them to be able to be proud of me, but to see, you know, that I can do the hard things, because they do hard things every day. So I think just proving to myself that I can do it and then showing them is my goal out of this ruck.
The event was, it definitely was more than a marathon. It was a different vibe, for sure, and one that I appreciated. Special. We had to wake up at like 2 a.m., caravanning with the Memories of Honor team, getting there on base, sitting in a dark parking lot, waiting for, you know, the event to start. We were some of the first people there.
newborns, our teenagers, our women, and our elders and our veterans. As we go about this day, help us remember those who gave all for this country, those who walked, and those who crawled. They gave everything and they gave it all. Creator, humble us today. Oh, McCarthy, oh yes, amen.
Amen.
Can it, not only for the memory of the guys from Bataan, but my brothers, oldest brother John, youngest, our baby brother Josh. We promised each other that we would do this march one day. Unfortunately, I lost both of them before I could come together as a team, and so I began to walk it for them.
Next group,
And
military
carry them on my
heavy.
back.
Are you
them.
ready?
You get going and it's just so many people rucking. It's a ruckers marathon for sure.
Last year I rucked 366 consecutive days for 1 hour with the 45-pound ruck.
Amazing.
And I did 1,551 miles last year. So this is kind of like the closing of the chapter to move on to the next thing. So.
Yeah. Yeah. This is good. No, I feel good. I feel heavy, but it's good.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm glad we ran into you though. How fun.
But there's a camaraderie that I've never really seen on the course. It's in the desert. The conditions are difficult. There's a lot of wind. There's a lot of sand. It's dry. There's aid stations. It looks like MASH. They've got tents up. People are on cots. You've got potable water tanks. And somewhere in the middle, there was a magical cheeseburger, hamburger grilling station. We got hamburgers. We took a break in the middle of this marathon to just sit with a bunch of ROTC, veterans, civilians, spouses, parents of the fallen, and just sat there and enjoyed this day. And it took a long time. I mean, it's not just get in and get out sort of thing. It's a 9 hours plus on this course. I found that I enjoyed it more as it went on. It was something that I'm glad I did. Between Memories of Honor and Fox Force 55, they were all there at the finish line to cheer us on. A lot of them carrying their own burdens and had their own motivations for doing this. That to me, it's like fast friends. An easygoing relationship and common cause and things like that are hard to find as adults, and so it's really uplifting when you do find it.
So where are we?
White Sands National Park in New Mexico. I have pictures of my dad and his siblings here because they used to live in Alamogordo. And I always wanted to come here because it looked so crazy, just blue skies and white sand and little kids on the dunes. There's lots to think about during a 9-hour marathon. I didn't realize how much I needed to come to New Mexico. And it was brought here by these friends, new and old, and this event. But being here, I haven't felt this close to my dad in a long time. And it's because he lived here. He lived in Las Cruces, where we are right now. He lived in Alamogordo, which is, just a couple wrong turns and an hour away. And there's just always been these pictures that I've seen of my father. Of course, I saw them for the first time at his funeral. And he died in 2001, suddenly. And I'd seen all these pictures of him as a kid, the age that my kids are now, at White Sands National Park. And I always wanted to go since seeing those pictures, but never really had a reason, right? And, it kind of seemed far away, and then, life takes you in different directions. And now I'm here, all these years later, and getting to drive through the places he lived, and that, to be honest, I'm not sure how much it's changed. Some of the places look very old and probably like how it's remembered. But it's made me feel close to him, and those kind of moments are gifts. So Memories of Honor founder Amy Cotta, she has this saying that she tells everybody that comes here is, you know, leave that shit in the sand. Whatever you're grappling with, and she acknowledges that everybody, from Gold Star families to veterans to civilians to children, we're all grappling with something. And when you're out there, it's okay to just leave it there, to shed some of that burden, to think about things that have been challenging in your life and realize that you're not alone. I think doing so helps us to realize what we have in common as humans.